Alright everybody, welcome back to another video. Welcome back to ToTF, Dragon's Dogma 2. I am sick AF. I would like to apologize preemptively. I might start sneezing or coughing or something else. Anyway, we got some stuff to showcase in this video. First of all, Revision 20 is about to drop soon, and I have stupidly big news. So, first of all, what you're seeing right now, right here, is this, okay? And what this is essentially a more vanilla-like experience, but with gear progression overhaul. Dullahan, Durnevir, if I recall. Yes, Dullahan, Durnevir, and the night events, which is also present in the full Revision 20. And I don't think I have added... No, I have actually. So we also have ESO in this one. And ESO will be present in the big one as well. Well, at least on the test revision. Also, we are running Bestiary as well. And then the stupid big news that I have is related to level cap and difficulty manager. See, there is a new mod which has taken the place of Random Encounters Rearisen, and that mod being this, alright? Now, the problem I have with mods like this is that they are replacers for current NPCs, okay? The reason I like Bestiary is because it does its own thing, just the same as Durnevir. So, props to Nika Sponja for that. They are adding new enemies instead of replacing current enemies, okay? We don't want to replace enemies, so I will be dropping this. Now, the stupid big news that I had related to level cap and difficulty manager is that I currently have an experimental version I've been working on, which has this, okay? Now, this is based on... The UI, anyway, is based on the original enemy randomizer with custom dungeons, because I found the UI to be actually good. However, as you can see, it's pretty much the same in terms of the UI, this part right here, in terms of the configuration. However, we have these global settings and other settings here, including persistence. And, again, this is experimental, okay? But essentially what this is supposed to do is trigger spawns regionally, and what I mean by spawns is actual spawns. So what this is supposed to do, and it does a pretty decent job already, is to inject, as you've seen here. It's injecting, it's got spawn method, and character ID enumeration, and all of that. It's filtering dungeons, it's trying to filter settlements and no region, empty pool, so we don't get spawns on top of water or inside mountains, although it has happened. What this does essentially is inject enemies into the enemy list, alright? So we will be spawning new enemies instead of randomizing current ones, okay? That's the whole point of this. And I am trying to make them persist across death, because I have put a bug report for this on regional enemy randomizer with custom dungeons, and I have been told that it's impossible. I want to prove you wrong. It is possible. It just needs a lot of work, okay? Now, the problem I have currently is that my game is crashing after like a couple of minutes. But anyway... Further features of test mode to level cap. You can now vocation swap on the fly whenever the flip you want, okay? You just apply vocation and you have changed your vocation. Just know that if you are in the menus, just the same as the level cap test, you will have to switch to another menu for this to be reflected inside the menu. It does work, I have tested it. I have some proof in here on Discord, but I'll also... I've been doing some tests here, okay, with that. if you wanna be up to date with the progress, this is the channel, the mod development for the DD2 ToTF, okay? This is where I usually post my stuff. I had a Griffin spawn inside a tent in camp. Well, technically 2 Griffins, but only one was inside the tent. Anyway, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna showcase all of this live. I've also added an NPC spawn feature. Both of these are currently a little buggy. We got some diagnostics, which I'm gonna run as soon as I boot up the save. Now, the purpose of this, all of this right now, is to have a more vanilla-like experience, okay? This is also for me, and I have put this out on a vote in the announcements channel. And, well, most votes said yes. Yes, make vanilla. So here I am, making a vanilla-like preset. If you would like to test it out, please head on over to the, you know, let me actually show you again. The test branch, where you can find the PRT file for Fluffy Mod Manager, which is the preset. This is the full preset. This is the vanilla-like preset, which does need a little testing. But, this here is Test Branch Revision 10, which is supposedly the upcoming Revision 20. Now, if you do actually install all of this, do note, again, you should be reading. Do note that you will have to grab the settings archive, because it's not included in the preset. Mostly because, if I recall, this archive includes stuff. I haven't looked at it yet, but it might be including stuff which we do not have in the, you know, in the vanilla-like preset. I haven't looked at it yet. Again, this is in testing currently, and I may have to look at it a little bit more. However, item belt is needed, the images, okay? And as far as I've seen right now, most of this stuff is something you will be needing if you want to keep the settings. I'm trying to finish within the next 5 or so days, mostly because Crimson Desert is gonna be out. And if you haven't heard about Crimson Desert, what the hell are you doing? But essentially, I have pre-ordered, and I'm kinda jumping on it. I've been trying to learn how to make my own stuff, so yeah. Props to all the mod creators, which have basically contributed to the making of Level Cap and Difficulty Manager. Okay? Essentially. Because I have learned how to do this by looking at their stuff, essentially. Okay, so this just goes in here. Alright. Essentially. And then data. And then we have faster run. Okay, this JSON is what you need. But if you look at these, okay, you can easily tell what you need and what you don't. So we definitely need these. And do we have Lucky Scavenger? I'm doing this live because I know a lot of people may not know what to do here. Okay. I'm specifically looking inside the files, or the folders for the files. And we want these. Okay? And we're gonna copy these over and replace the files. Then we need, let's see now. Infinity bar, auto draw, auto loot, clock. I don't have the carry me? I'm surprised. Wait, actually I don't have custom settings for that, never mind. Okay. Drops both items, experience boost, faster run. Fairy stones I did not include in the vanilla-like, because it's touching the experience a little bit, if you know what I mean. We have... Do we have the follow setting? Huh. I don't recall if I've added that mod. I don't think I have. We don't have the... Okay, we have the lock-on. We have or fake items. Pawn share settings. This is very important. This will help put the pawn share settings back to vanilla, hopefully. And then I'm not gonna include the heal over time because I have changed my preset. Then we copy these and then we paste them over and we reset scripts because we are in game. I might crash just now because of that though. Ignore the Eki Tools script error. Again, I might crash now because I changed a lot of scripts. But essentially, this is what you do. Yes. Okay, that was expected. Okay, now because I crashed, I don't know if the game saved, but let's see. Here's hoping the game saved at the correct location with the correct save. I also need to adjust the UI a little bit. Okay. Alright, we are good. Now, actual gameplay test begins. This is also test run for the new ToTF Visual Manager stuff, which, as you can see, I am able to adjust my camera on the fly, which is very cool. It does help a little bit in combat, by the way. It helps a lot of bit, actually. Now, I may be adjusting Visual Manager right now. I'm gonna enable that for some testing. We have some flickering. If you have flickering, put intensity to 0.8 or just turn off Fix PT Sun for now. I'm trying to fix it. Unfortunately, 0.1 looks the best, but 0.1 will have flickering in the background. Whoops. Flickering in the background right here. Or here, okay? These areas in cutscenes. Specifically only happens in cutscenes. Okay, I'm noticing I may have to port over the follower settings, but it's fine. Yeah, because this dude gets teleported a lot. Combat teleport distance, make it 200. Non-combat teleport, make it 500. I don't know. But essentially these two settings will stop your NPCs from randomly getting spawned back into where you are. Now, you might have noticed we do not have a skill manager in this one. Or a skill maker, excuse me. For good reason too. And it's not vanilla-like. Do you note that Dullahan does change the vocations if... Okay, Onslaught is gonna be on X or mouse click. You may get stuck with Onslaught being highlighted. I'll show you when I actually get there. And if that happens, it's either Dullahan, which is my primary suspect, or DD2. But in any case, do you know that it's a mod by Nick Esponja, if I recall. Both of them are, actually. And you should probably let him know. Because I had that thing happen more than one time. Even on the vanilla-like preset. But it has only happened after adding Nick's mods, so I'm assuming it's caused by Dullahan right here. Now, I don't actually know, but it should be fine. Anyway. Going to component settings because we need some stuff changed. I'm gonna enable local exposure and gonna set this to 0.3 for the purposes of the video. Okay? That's how you fix your exposure with Visual Manager, alright? In tone mapping, inside component settings, you have dynamic range conversion. You have that echo, but please don't touch that, in my opinion. You have enable local exposure, which will help quite a bit. You have this, which I'm not entirely sure if it works as, you know, as it should. But it kind of seems to not work. So I probably will remove that setting specifically. And then we have this set exposure enabled, which has multiple settings in here which you can adjust. But primarily this one, alright? Which is the overall exposure, which I will set to 0.3, or 1.3 rather. Then you have this and this. Ideally just use it with the reshade, and then just touch the exposure a little bit. Okay? Oh yeah, one thing I want to mention, not level cap, my bad. Visual Manager will have this new scheduled weathers system, okay? Stuff may look a little bit different than you're used to in Revision 20. Now, because I touched the settings for the NPCs, they're not here. They're behind me right now. Fair enough. This is where we actually do the testing, so you might have noticed so far we haven't crashed except for the one script reset. I know this is a long video, but bear with me. This is for testing purposes, alright? And, oh, that has never happened before. Don't exactly know why we crashed there, but it might be caused by the regional Immersive Encounters NPC spawner. Very, very high possibility, because I have started crashing after making that. So, I am attempting to fix it. It's gonna take a while. You will not be seeing this experimental version for quite some time. What I want to see... Yep, we have a dormant entry. Okay, now what that dormant entry is... And we have NPCs spawned already, which might be an oversight.
Job well done. What is this commotion?
Okay, we might have NPCs spawned up there. And I don't exactly want that to happen. We have 30 NPCs spawned. This might be bad. We might have a lot of NPCs spawned here. Now this could be cute. Or they might have spawned somewhere else. Now I'm gonna pause here and I wanna look. Now, this dormant entries, what this does is essentially it saves the current locations of NPCs. Okay? We have 31 queued. That's not ideal. I'm pretty sure I attempted to fix that. Ideally, we should not be having 30-something NPCs queued, okay? So what this does is it queues up spawns, future spawns for NPCs, but we already have 31 spawned, which is not ideal. That should not be happening. We have a cap for bosses, and I have set it to 3. As in 3 nearby and no more. I don't know where the rest are, but they have been spawned. Let's deal with Medusa first. By the way, the shield pommel skill is from Dullahan, I believe. And you only have access to that from the start from Dullahan. I don't even recall if Shield Pommel is an actual skill in the game. I know Shield Bash is, but yeah. Also, you might have noticed this beat tanky. I'm a little worried about the queued NPCs, which might crash my game. You know, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna clear the dormants. Okay, and here's hoping I don't die for it. I'm still in combat. Now, some stuff may happen on, you know, the actual map we're gonna start playing. We might have some bosses spawning in at random on me, which is intended. It is intended, but this is not intended. Might be due to the queued stuff. Again, trying to figure out, it's an experimental version. I know I'm crashing a lot with it. That's not the point. Point is, this is testing. Anyway, again, I will need to fix whatever is crashing the game. I'm not entirely sure, but I suspect it's due to the queued NPCs. Okay, we had 2 crashes already. Yeah, I suspect it's due to the queued NPCs. The code is queuing NPCs like crazy. I don't really know what I'm doing. The point is that I'm trying to get it out as cleanly as possible, which is the point. I'm trying to make something that doesn't really exist right now. Well, except for bestiary and... Okay, let's clear dormants. I need to somehow... I need to... Let me just set it to 0 probability for the trigger, so we don't have spawns right now. Here's hoping it's fine. Okay, please don't crash anymore. I think the trigger probability is too high. A little bit too high. And then if we set it to 0, we shouldn't be crashing anymore. I hope.
A Griffin appears. Was it you that is a
Yes. The trigger probability was set too high. I'm gonna set it to 20%. Okay? And we will be testing with 20%. I will leave the UI open, because I want you guys to see, okay? As this works in real time, kinda. Now, what I need to do is to add a button over here to clear the queue. Alright, testing purposes. We are currently fighter. We go into test mode. What I want to do is switch vocation. Now, because I know this is kind of broken, I might have fixed it last time. I forgot which version this is. I believe this is the latest one, and I think I fixed it in the latest, but... No, I did not. Okay, we have mage as an archer. And as you can see, we have switched to mage. Now, we do have this armor here, which we have found. And this, you know, these pants. They're different vocations each. So I'm gonna run some testing, and we will be switching to thief. Now, the problem is that this is a little brokey, and thief is gonna be something else. Yep. Okay, I need to figure out which one is thief. Normally it's the... Okay, it's not. That's archer. Archer is mage. And then... I need to fix this. Mage is thief. Okay? As you can see, I am a thief, and I am actually able to equip the Vanquisher armor. So this thing does in fact work. Okay? It does in fact work. Alright. Next. We need Sorcerer. Which I believe might be the Warrior. Yes. It is what it is. It is what it is. I need to fix it. Again, that's not the point. The point is that it works. Now, while I do have the armor equipped, it does no longer give me the stats. So I'm gonna unequip it. I was about to say disequip, which is not a word. Alright, as you can see, we can equip it, and the stats are being reflected. Let's go back to... I think the mage was the thief. Yes. We're going back to the thief. And then we're going to status. And there we go. So the stats are changing accordingly. Okay. The stats are changing accordingly. It does work. That's the point. Now, do I want to equip this? Sure. I might crash due to it, but I'm currently with stuff equipped on me. And what I want to do is, I just want to maintain them for, you know, for the purposes of having something equipped. Fighter is Mystic Spearhand. Okay, I'll just go with Warfarer, I guess. It's fine. As you can see, it does work. And this should give me the stats of everything, kinda. If I recall. And it should allow me to equip everything. So, there you go. I'll just do this for the purposes of the video. I'm currently using Warfarer.
Where exactly is this jail you say you escaped from, anyway?
And then, as you can see, NPCs are actually spawning in currently.
There's certainly
harpies got spawned in immediately. We have 28 queued, which is not ideal. We have 3 nearby bosses somewhere, which is again not ideal. And they're kind of spawning on top of water, which is again not ideal, because if bosses or NPCs fall in the water, they will die.
Where are you going? I'll not force you.
Yeah, as you can see, this does work.
Like a word.
This does work. It works incredibly well, actually. And the goblin spawns are maintained, alright? That's the main point I'm trying to make. The goblin spawns are here and they work. Again, for the purposes of the video, I need to explain something, okay? Now, the problem is I have 45 NPCs queued. I need to fix that. It's on a 20% probability, and I still have 45% fucking NPCs queued, which is a problem, so I need to turn this off right now. Again, this is in testing. It's an experimental version, alright? The point is that I have achieved something, alright? People keep telling me that it's not possible to inject enemies to the enemy list and to have them persist via after death. So I'm trying to prove people wrong, even though I don't really know what the fuck I'm doing. Okay? Now what I want to do is die, honestly. So I'm gonna attempt to die here. Okay, it's not gonna be hard. This Lich hits hard. Come on. I also need to make sure... Okay, there's the flickering I was talking about. Okay, so what I am testing right now is if the position of the enemies and the enemies are being maintained through death. Again, it's a 0 probability to trigger right now, so we will not be having new enemies. Now, I only have 10 dormant entries, but as you can see, something has been maintained. There's a harpy flying there. I need to figure out what is being maintained and where. There was a harpy flying around over there. Now, again, I'm trying to make this game be more lively. This will, however, affect your performance. Just, you have been warned ahead of time. You will have a fuckload of NPCs extra. Okay? This will affect your performance. This will heavily affect your performance, depending on the settings. I don't know if I'm gonna be able... Okay, there we go. Okay, proven wrong, by the way. Proven wrong. Okay? So this person right here, who has made regional enemy randomizer with custom dungeons, have just ratted themselves as somebody that doesn't know what the fuck they're doing. They're probably using AI, just like I am, to make mods via, basically stealing other people's scripts. And they don't even know what they're doing with the AI. I was essentially being told that it's just the game... It's just the game, okay? It's just how the game works. You're unable to make them persist through death, okay? Read this, okay? There's this one annoying thing that keeps happening. Enemies are re-randomized or return to vanilla whenever you die. Can we look into this? And make them not be re-randomized or return to vanilla on death? Or at least provide a toggle for this if you can fix it, okay? This is my bug report. There's nothing more annoying and immersion breaking than enemies randomly changing when you load back a save. This happens for every randomized NPC, bosses included, and was a thing in Random Encounters Re-Arisen as well. How do I know this? Because I've been using Random Encounters Re-Arisen ever since I made this fucking collection, okay? Now the problem I have with this person is that they told me that that's not something they can fix. Unfortunately, it's just the way the game works. Which is entirely not fucking true. So, the person essentially ratted themselves out as somebody that did not put in any sort of effort. Enemies that are currently being rendered in your immediate area should stay the same on a reload, but new enemies that get loaded in as you explore can't be guaranteed to spawn the same. It's just the nature of how a randomizer mod works. Which again is not true, you just didn't put in any effort. And then I've been told that, which doesn't really matter to me at all. Now, while this is kinda in my immediate area, do note that the boss has been maintained and I have only 9 dormant entries, okay? The Thorians are still here. The Harpies are still here, okay? They were not rendered on screen, okay? I was past the mountain, all the way over there, okay? They were not rendered in the immediate area, or in the immediate vicinity, and we have distances here, okay? Now, I'm trying to prove a point. Even if you're using AI, if you don't know what the fuck you're doing in general, you honestly shouldn't be making mods. Okay, now, I'm not gonna say that I know what the fuck I'm doing, but I kinda know what I'm doing in general, okay? I'm not a coder. I am vibe coding, I will admit it. The problem is that most people don't troubleshoot at all, don't know what the fuck they're doing at all, and they're not even trying at all, okay? Meanwhile, you're seeing progress being made here.
Where are you going? I'll not force you to this retreat. Make use of the slope. It will give you an advantage against their ranks.
Excuse me while I'm attempting to stay alive for a little bit, because then, you know.
Random attacks are more destructive, but will leave you vulnerable. So seize your chance to land the moment.
This is not vanilla here. This is my mod doing the thing.
Do not let yourself
Also, you might have noticed the difficulty, yes?
away from the horde and pick them up one by one.
This guy is spitting facts.
Watch your enemy's movements carefully.
Alright, now what I want to do, because notice we have 6 dormant entries. I'm gonna boost this up to 40. Okay? Okay? Now, this could be bad. I'm gonna start spawning in enemies at a 5% trigger probability. I'm gonna put the pack min to 12. I might be crashing after this. Just be warned, okay? Also, if you wonder why I'm not leveling up, it's probably because of experience boost, which has been set to, you know, these settings. However, these are the settings we are using on the collection. So, what I'm trying to do here is to give you more fights early on, like a lot more fights, so you can level up even with that. However, it's gonna take you a little while to get used to how weak you are. But essentially, if you know what you're doing, even as a fighter, you should be able to. You should be able to. This is not too high of a difficulty, okay? That's what I'm trying to prove here. A lot of people have been saying that the difficulty of the collection is much too high, which is not true. You need to know what you're doing, though. Don't use Onslaught. This is shit, okay? This skill is shit. Also gets bugged. This is shit. Okay, this is your normal attack. Use Impale instead. This hits much harder, especially on a backstab and especially on a multi-hit. And then use Shield Pommel if you're a fighter. Often, even. Use it often. Also, you might have noticed my health is a little different from what we've had on the collection. That's because I've removed the rally system. Also, I've added a new toggle, by the way. Back to the rally system. I've removed the Bloodborne rally system because it was affecting the healing too much. And, gonna go to the healing settings, which I will be updating. I know I don't normally do that, but I will update the healing settings. These are the new settings. Please use these. Okay. Especially after I'm gonna be adding the original Immersive Encounters version of Level Cap and Difficulty Manager. Which again, this mod, I didn't really initially plan to make all of this. Initially, this was just supposed to be a level cap and stats control mod, which would allow you to level all the way to 999. Initially, I wanted to cap the level at 70, by the way, because I kind of wanted to turn this into a sort of MMO, but I've decided, you know what? Let's do the Dragon's Dogma online version of the game. but in Dragon's Dogma too. So let's level up to 999. Allows stats uncapped up to 999 from the vanilla 200. And then add a lot of stuff. And then this is how we got the enemy difficulty scaler, which now has a boss scaling feature. We have an enemy spawn multiplier, which now has a neutral NPC multiplier toggle for neutrals. And the way this works is 75% goes to enemies, 25% goes to neutrals. So it's a 75-25 split when you toggle this on, which I recommend you keep it on actually. Unless you just want more enemies in general, but don't care about the neutrals. This should also spawn in NPCs like the Enchantress and other groups that just randomly walk around, which is not present in the vanilla preset of the collection, by the way, because I haven't added Skillmaker, and they rely on Skillmaker. And then we have the monster infighting, which I really wanted to make it work, and I did. Because the standalone mod of monster infighting, which is hardcore outdated at this point, does not function correctly. So I just made my own. I know there's a better monster infighting mod. I don't care. I wanted my own. There's the weather schedule doing its thing. I believe this is a weather from the Sacred Arbor. I could be wrong, but I forgot. Anyway, this will make monsters fight each other, bosses included. And then, the new original Immersive Encounters, which is currently not present on Nexus mods or anywhere else. This is just a local install of the mod. Okay, now, we also have the test mode here, as showcased previously, and what I'm gonna do soon-ish is I'm gonna start spawning in some of these NPCs. Now, what I wanna do is have a NPC clear or despawn feature for specifically level cap and difficulty manager for the test mode, so we can despawn anything that has been added in by the test mode. Now, I have mentioned something about diagnostics, okay? You don't really need to care about these, but essentially, if you run full diagnostics, it's gonna share a bunch of data with you, okay? It's even telling you the vocation ID and a lot of stuff, including, you know, spawn pipeline for random, you know, immersive encounters. I forgot the name for a second there. It's not sharing all the data, but it does share some data, which does help me fix stuff. Also basically telling me that it does work. Kinda as intended. Alright, my throat hurts. Give me a second to drink coffee. God damn. Alright. Now, we have 48 in queue, which are probably not spawning right now because I am too close to this camp/settlement, which is not being viewed as a camp/settlement just yet. Again, there's the flickering, okay? Now, the flickering is from Visual Manager, Fix PT Sun. And you will notice that it instantly stopped. What I can do is I can turn it back on, but then you get the flickering in the cutscene. Just, you know.
Surely you cannot be the Arisen.
If we go to point 8,
we can take you to it. Pray.
You will notice the flickering has stopped entirely. And it looks a little better. The effects are not as intense. Now, for Visual Manager, I still need some stuff to address. Okay, I'm gonna be using Gale from Baldur's Gate 3 here. This is my actual main pawn. He's a mage. Alright, notice it stopped flickering. Now, the problem I have is that the sun is incredibly intense. Gonna skip all this. Sun is incredibly intense, and we don't really like that. So, yeah. I will attempt to fix it. Now, I don't exactly know why.
Ask all you wish to know. Very well.
Okay. I don't exactly know why, but sun intensity has a problem. You might notice that 0.1 looks the best, in my opinion. Sun intensity has a problem here. So the way sun intensity works is not really sun intensity. It's more of a effects intensity. So you will notice that all the weather effects kind of get toned down, which is not really what I was trying to achieve. But I will attempt to fix it at some point. Let's go recruit us some pawns. We will be grabbing Griffin as per usual, and probably Chance. But I also need to make sure the Lich and such do not spawn unless it's nighttime. Anything that's an undead or a phantom should not be spawning in unless it's nighttime. Also, I believe this camp/settlement here. Okay, we have 12 dormant entries right now. We have 66 spawned and 66 in queue, which is not ideal. And we crashed, which is expected. Okay, it's gonna instantly populate the queue, which could be bad. I put this to 60. I don't know why it doesn't persist. Let's put this to 5. Let's put it to 0, actually. Come on. My save might be corrupted. I might have to reboot my game. I think it's corrupted. Now, currently, this is how the inside looks. Okay. The modules. I will probably split this even further, though, but we shall see. We shall see. And then we have the JSON files right here. Okay. There we go. There we go. We have 0 queued right now, which means it has cleared the queue. Okay, time to check the queue. Now, it's cleared the queue, but I'm not entirely sure why. Let me try retry the SDK, which will, because it said generate the manager missing. Okay, we put this back to 5% trigger probability. Actually, let me put it to 100%. This could be bad.
Look, Master, a treasure chest.
You know what?
We shall have to find a way to reach it.
Let's make it 25, actually. And then we save settings. Alright. I'm gonna turn off the thing.
Then I dare say time is of the essence.
Alright, time to check.
A fine place to harvest some ingredients. No harm in picking a few.
Okay. We are gonna be keeping this on, actually. I changed my mind. Okay, so some goblins died.
Could you come over here?
Goblins, Master!
Okay.
Advantage against this foe. Are we all in the same boat?
Harvest victory a myriad indeed.
Yeah, we instantly got 14 NPCs queued, which is a little too much. Because I've added too many into the queue. Okay? Yeah, I don't believe the game engine can handle these many spawns. So while it's possible, the game engine literally cannot handle it. So what I need to do is the cap max is way too much. The pack min is way too much. So we're gonna spawn 1 to 4, 1 to 5. How about that? Okay. We're gonna clear this, we're gonna retry the SDK, and then save the settings. Alright. Here's hoping everything works as intended this time. Now, again, the probability for the trigger is gonna be much lower. Yeah, that was expected, actually. I'm gonna have to in-rest. Those could also be my current settings for the mod. Again, the engine can't really handle this many NPC injections at the same time. So while we've seen that the mod does work, it does need to be set up properly. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna set it to 0.5. Actually, let me set it to 1. We're gonna set it to 1. Okay. It's gonna be a 1 to 3 pack max. Okay. And then we have max bosses near player, which are allowed. This also controls how many bosses are allowed to be spawned on screen at the same time. 3 is what I suggest you keep as max, because otherwise you will have trouble. And then
My
retry the SDK, and we save these settings.
From the dragon's assault.
Now, we do have some settings, and I have kinda...
I shall guide you to the location.
I've kinda, you know,
They're in your hands, sir.
set them to be in an immersive way. Now, I don't have the, you know, night control settings just yet, but again, this was mostly for testing purposes. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna run a little bit outside,
There was another matter we were
and then I need to make sure we check how often shit spawns.
Is not the only factor worthy of consideration.
There we go.
Pointing our enemy's weakness.
Alright,
Ingredients are
this should no longer crash the game engine.
Picking a few.
Yep, there's the bug with Onslaught. So, I need to tell you guys what to do if this happens. So if this bug happens where you can literally can't, okay? I'm pressing... Oh, you guys can't hear it. Anyway, the idea is that I'm pressing, okay? You're seeing. I am pressing. It no longer works. I don't exactly know why it no longer works, but I believe it's by Dullahan. So what you can do if you have both controller and mouse, you can switch to mouse input and then just click, and it'll fix it. And notice I can just do this now. This could also maybe possibly be an issue caused by Steam input. I'm not entirely sure, but it only happens after installing Dullahan, I believe.
We mustn't
Again, needs more checking, but if it's caused by
it comes.
Nick Esponja's mods, Nick, can you fix it? I'm not entirely sure if it's Dullahan or DD2, but considering it's vocation related, I'm gonna assume it's Dullahan. I might actually need to have a talk with Nick on your Discord, Nick. I don't think Nick's watching my videos. Anyway.
I see our goal has changed.
Okay, the trigger probability might be a little too low right now.
Let me know if you require.
Let me boost it to 3.
The Arisen decides our path.
And save. Now, I know we have 60 dormant entries, but we currently have 5 settlements, which is not really... I don't think that's true. I don't think the script currently knows correctly what counts as a settlement. Okay. Again, if you have too many NPCs spawn on screen at the same time, not only will your game crash... Oh, there's a rabbit. Not only will your game crash, but you will run into a lot of performance drop issues, and I'm currently sitting at 90-some frames per second, but I have had a lot of drops. The more NPCs you spawn, the more you're gonna have issues.
What say we make our report?
Especially with the bosses, especially with
Riftstone lies near.
bosses added in by
Got you there, master.
bestiary. Because they are bosses with changes to their skill sets, okay? Now, at some point, bestiary no longer started relying on Skillmaker, if I recall. Again, it's saying 7 settlements. I'm not entirely sure why that is. I'm not entirely sure what counts as a settlement in this script currently. I need to figure that one out. Again, I am vibe coding this, but it does work, okay? That's the point. I have worked with code. Not too much, and I don't really know what the fuck I'm doing half the time. But the point is that I'm getting somewhere, okay? I think that's the real point
Never to keep up.
we need to keep in mind.
Hail, friend. Will be
I am openly admitting to the fact that I am vibe coding this, okay? But, It's not entirely AI, okay? I do have to fix stuff on my own as well. Which is rather annoying when you don't know what the fuck you're doing.
Worthy prize. If only 'tweren't so far away.
Now, you might notice the 3% trigger probability might be a little too low right now, so let's bump it up to 5. We're not getting any spawns whatsoever right now, which is not ideal. I need to add the nighttime spawn for the undead category. We need to make sure they can only spawn during the night, so it's more, you know, immersive. It makes more sense for undead to be spawning only at nighttime, in my opinion anyway. And I need to make sure I add a nighttime boost scalar feature. Oh, there we go. 2 dormant entries. We have 2 queued. Where they are, I don't really know. Oh, they're here. Okay, there's the goblin. Sorry, is that friendly fire? Is that friendly fire? That might have been friendly fire. I'm not entirely sure. Or did I get hit in the back by the one harpy? Huh. Alright, we have 2 entries, which means the script is finally starting to spawn stuff in. Now, I could be cute and just do something, but what I want to do right now is get rid of the harpies. Because then I want to spawn in something. I want to start wrapping up this video. I must throw this fella into the water. Okay. Alright. Good, good. Let me check the script. Few entries, that's fine. Oh shit. Okay, chill. Jesus. No range? Come on. Come on. Oh, fuck. You know, this is honestly way more fun than you'd expect right now. And while this is an experimental version, it does do its job. And my god, does it do its job well. You might notice I'm fighting a lot of NPCs. We only have 2 entries, which means the spawn multiplier is also doing its job. Okay. So, I know some people were saying spawn multiplier doesn't work. It does. It kinda does. It kinda does. I know it's not obvious immediately, but that's the point. We need to make this immersive, okay? This is a very, very, very vanilla-friendly mod. So if you want a singular mod which handles everything for you, spawns, level cap, you know, difficulty in general, level cap and difficulty manager is your mod. Keep in mind, all 3 of my mods for Tales of the Forgotten, which include ToTF Heal Over Time, ToTF Visual Overhaul, and ToTF Level Cap and Difficulty Manager. All 3 of these are standalone mods. They do not require anything else except for RE framework to run. You can run them all 3 at the same time and just have a good time. Alright? Okay, now I am gonna spawn stuff. I'll need to figure out if they spawn over water or not. They may spawn over water. We shall see. I'm gonna see if a beam dragon spawns in, which might be something else entirely. I don't know where he at, but something definitely spawned in. Okay, he's somewhere over here.
Following along, I
That is a positive. He is right there.
care not to lose sight of him.
Yep. There you go. End game boss, fellas. The spawner works, alright? Now I'm gonna spawn in. You know what? Let me spawn in a Skeleton Lord. This might not be the Skeleton Lord, though. Oh, I didn't catch what that was, but it's a crash. Alright, anyway. The point is, everything kinda works. Now, will it work properly within the next 5 days? I am not completely sure. Anyway, I hope to see you guys in the next video. Hopefully you enjoyed this little showcase of the experimental version of the mod and the upcoming vanilla-like preset of Revision 20. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Hop on Discord, alright? Hop on Discord, especially if you need help. Hop on Discord. Heavily advised. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.